memories. Memories. CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off, it's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through from Peyton. It's just gonna solidify everything for Mythos.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're gonna be able to find these shots true.
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an Anvil and immediately goes back to fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2, 3, so back and forth.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We've got our second match of the day here on this EU slate. This time, I believe we are headed to the Masters tier, if I'm not mistaken. No,
Grandmaster.
still PC open. PC GM. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's GM. Ignore that for the moment. That'll be fixed momentarily. But we've got a rematch of last week's SNO match. Here on the EU side, it'll be EMC Helheim versus team EXE. On Saturday, EXE was able to get the win 3-1. Will EMC Helheim get their revenge? I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. Obviously, we were both on this game. I think you were casting it, I was on the desk, so this is a match that I think we both got quite a lot of opinions about. I think on paper, Helheim were definitely the favorites coming into that matchup, but obviously EXE were able to take it. And we'll go a little bit more into detail about what actually happened there once we get rosters up, once we get a little bit more into the game. But, you know, I think we did all agree it was an underperformance from EMC Helheim. And hopefully now they've had a week, they can come back and both teams can play at their full might, because that could go all the way full 5.
Yeah, I mean, it was, pretty disappointing, frankly, overall from Helheim for sure. But it could also just have been like a top tier 100% performance from EXE. I mean, Junofish was absolutely ridiculous in that matchup last week, as well as Beast Mode for that matter. The main tank and the Tracer together last week locked in just as much as you've ever seen any dive duo be, right? So now coming into this rematch, EMC Helheim, it's not often you get a second chance at a team that's beaten you, let alone the week later, to knock them out of a tournament, no less. So this is going to be a very, very interesting match. Do we get like a proper EMC Helheim, or does EXE come back in and take them down again?
We'll just have to wait and see, because there's no way of finding out before then. I gotta say, we saw plenty of compositions earlier. A lot of Sigma for Junofish. The other side of things, it was Orisa to start things off. But I think the matchup was definitely most interesting when we got to see Junofish on that Winston. It seemed like their best tank was absolutely just frying with it, and it wasn't a bad look from the other side either. Let's see if we can put up the schedule though, because of course we are continuing to update you about what games we've got today.
All right, so yeah, this will be our second match of the day. EMC Helheim team EXE. Then one more on CGL 2. It'll be Special Forces versus the God Stack in that game. And then one more tonight. It's going to be Anenra versus Broken 2OP Fan Club. So a lot of Overwatch still to play today, and potentially even more.
Yeah. I mean, we're going on a pretty fast and loose schedule with how we're organizing these games, so we're getting as many streams as we can, so all the more action for you, the viewer at home. But yeah, so at least 2 more games left to go. Take a gander at some of these rosters now. First, we've got EMC Helheim, who are going to be coming onto our screens. Now, we've got Yamiro, Sokoka, Professional Catboy, Varied, and Starsy. And I think from what we saw, it was Sakoka, I believe, who was playing quite strong. Yamiro was probably the weak link there, I had to say. It was a bit of an underperformance, unfortunately, from the hit scan player. More than a couple first deaths that I think really got to shoot EMC Helheim in the back. I believe Sakoka was a play we had yesterday, actually, wasn't it, Fletch? I think that should actually be Fifi, if memory serves, but they also could have been roster changes in between all of this, so I could be wrong there. Pro Catboy seemed to be relatively comfortable on those ground tanks, but when it was on the more mobile heroes, it seemed to be a bit of a weakness. The Winston just wasn't up to the same level as the counterparts, and Varied and Starsy were able to do their jobs, but I think not really overperformed.
Yep, now we see the team that get the better of this matchup last week on Saturday. It's going to be Team EXE, Jin Vital, Beast Mode on that DPS line, Junofish on the tank, and Airy and Fab in the back line. Yeah, what else can you say that we haven't already said? Junofish and Beast Mode were locked in together all match last week. Airy, Fab, and Jin. I mean, they all played very, very well. Team EXE, a very, very strong team. I mean, they are looking to repeat last week. They know that they can do it. They've already done it. They're going to come in here and look to move on in this tournament.
Indeed. We did give Junofish our MVP, but as you mentioned, Beast Mode was a very, very close contender. It took all the way to that last map for the Deaths to make a decision, because they were both just playing absolutely out of their minds. Same story as you've heard before. Oasis going to be map 1. After that, it's going to be loser picks, hybrid, crash, flash, push, and ad infinitum, of course. There's a possibility for draws, but so far we haven't had any tight maps, if I'm not mistaken. And while it would be entertaining, it would also be pretty goofy, so hopefully that continues.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, but now as we head into Oasis University, this is going to be the more brawly of the 3 points, at least the most brawly. If we're going to see EMC Helheim come out swinging here, I believe this is where we will see it. And that looks like a Sigma to me way, way back there through those outlines. So I wouldn't be surprised if Juno is still sticking to that Sigma poke, and it will be Juno. And kind of just like I expected, it'll be Professional Catboy on the Ramatra here.
Yeah, indeed. I would expect Beast Mode to TP out to spawn, go either Ash or Tracer, but it's Sigbrul versus Rambrul. Team EXE looking to extend their poke phase here. EMC Helheim just looking to get in close, hit a wall, and use that Nemesis form to go to town on Junofish.
All right, here we go. Map number 1, Oasis University. Both of these teams will meet on the outside, but Jibenthal has already decapitated Starty, and as fast as that fight was getting ready to begin, it is already over.
That was so quick, just instant pick. The biggest kill you could realistically get in that early phase of the fight. Starty sent back to spawn. Team EXE gets a first cap through, but EMC Helheim will have a very fast refight by dint of that speedrun.
All right, here we go. Gonna rotate through this mini health pack from drop that shield to grant the rotation. Unfortunately, the Mei and the Juno did not get across, and Starty and Buried, I believe that is, or rather, it's Sakoka back there with the Juno, not able to get across, unfortunately, for Team EXE. They're not able to convert on those kills. Immortality field forced out, healing in, gonna throw in those torpedoes to keep their Ramatra alive, because Catboy is very, very low, but these supports cannot see him for the moment. Have to back out around the corner, and there is, unfortunately, another early pick onto Yamiro, and EXE are able to convert the damage that they were able to deal throughout that fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what was happening there, but it looked like either Prof Catboy was over peaking or the Starsy was under peaking. But for whatever reason, there wasn't that full pocket from that Juno onto Prof Catboy that realistically you would expect. So they're forced to back at least 4. Now, all's coming online, especially for Team EXE though. Prof Catboy, it's only 55% of the way to this annihilation. What would you love to see?
Despite the early death, Starty also has a Orbital Rain. Ugh. What a stick there! I mean, it's not a dive comp, but Juno and Beast Mode coming together there. Beast Mode does end up getting traded at the hands of this Orbital Ray. Nobody gonna freeze in this blizzard though. Yamiro stuck on the point alone, and Airy able to get rid of that May. And now down numbers, it's up to this rally to try and keep EMC Helheim in this fight. Unfortunately, Buried going to back around the corner. The sound barrier from Fab denying the aggression there. A wall to deny Catboy, broken through it, has the Annihilation ready to go, will pop it. Needs to get around this shield unless it goes away way sooner than they'd like, and Junofish finally being taken down. You see there's a few people in that backline though. Catboy alone pushing into the opposite backline, and there will be some picks coming through from Team EXE, but Helheim will stay afloat here on University.
Crucially, they keep through two incredibly large ults here. This Orbital Ray, as well as this Freeze, is going to allow EMC Helheim to make this win sustainable, right? Not just get instantly report with Team EXE's own check marks. For the side of Team EXE, I'd like to see them just probably slow play, charge up this Flux, and then build a fight around that, because a Flux with a Blizzard at their toes could be a very quick version.
There with Blizzard throwing it down on that ground, and unfortunately not going to really freeze anybody, but the tick damage on the Jinbethal is going to be enough to take down their opposing number, and Team EXE will just look to disengage as hard as they possibly can.
They got out both the large ults though from EMC Helheim. I mean, the defending team right now can barely muster a Deadeye. This is a huge fight for Team EXE. This is their best shot, especially with a pick like that.
Miro just a little bit too far into that fight, and now with this Gravitic Flux out from Junofish and the Blizzard freezing up Professional Catboy, it'll only be 50% here for EMC Helheim as EXE closes out University.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that pulse won't go off in the end, but it's just for style points anyhow. Very gets taken down, 100 to 50. I'm saying we're so far seeing about a mirror of what we saw last time, Fudge.
Yeah, there was some fight, but unfortunately, it's hard to win a fight when you are 80% to Deadeye as your closest ultimate. The other team's got 3. It's just not easy to do. So now as we head into the Divey City Center, Junofish is going to stay committed to this Sigma comp that's done them so well. And on the other side, EMC Helheim, they're going to go over to the dive. Professional Catboy on the Winston now as Varied goes over to the Ana and starting onto the Brig.
I don't mind this. I do think, though, that they need to make sure that Prof Catboy doesn't get poked out. And these are clean engages rather than just hard jumping into 5 people and hoping you find a kill. So setup here going to be key. Backline going to be pressured, though.
Stardy and Yamiro right now are struggling to get around. Sakoka able to avoid the flashbang there, uses the recall, and Yamiro cleaves Fab's head off, and this is as good of a start as it could have been for EMC Helheim after that first sub-map.
Indeed. That's a great cleanup there. Nice adaptation. Team EXE do struggle into dive a lot of the time, and they're making wholesale changes. Looks like they're going to mirror out the monkey, maybe go Diva as well, but yeah, you can tell with the Ana break that they're going towards something mobile. So it goes to be full mirror. Ult's slightly advantage to EMC Helheim, but that's going to be the only difference, at least for now.
Alright, here we go. Next fight in after the wholesale swaps from Team EXE. Dynamite not going to find a target there for Jiventhal. And oh my god, that anti-grenade from Varied hits 3 and Jiventhal falls. Dive going to come through, but sent careening at the hands of the whip shot. And Team EXE just eviscerated by a well-placed grenade.
Yeah, Junofish as well just can't get in. Tries to use the jump pad, but slept, whip shot, it almost goes off the map. But instead, we'll just take a nap while the rest of his team pulls down this duel as well. What a stagger from Sakoka.
Now, Team EXE is going to await Junofish's return from spawn as they cross the 50% mark. They've got ultimates now coming up. Almost the Bob, the Primal Rage, Nano, Pulse Bomb. Junofish finally respawn, getting ready to go. Sakoka on the flank, keeping an eye on these players to the side of EXE. Someone has to use the recall early. Now the nano boost from Catboy into the backline. Pulse Bomb stuck onto Fab, and EMC Helheim have switched their comp, and they've got life renewed.
Yeah, it takes them a little while to get it going, but once they charge some ults up, then they're able to go blow for blow with Helheim. Miro goes down at a very awkward time, though. Team EXE might be able to just get it in there. I don't know, I'm not going to touch.
Airy is very low, and a left hook from Professional Catboy puts the Ana away. Now, 95% for EMC Helheim. They need the touch for the side of EXE. Now, Bob gonna come in. Bob will get overtime rolling for Team EXE. They finally have ults to spare, and Jinvathal enters the fray with a headshot onto Psychoka. And now the dive onto the high ground will be good. They're gonna be able to not quite grab the kill. They're gonna throw Bob out as Yamiro gets juggled right off the map. No, well, Coach going to get back on, and Junofish turns back around immediately. Why are they committing? I mean, Catboy is able to take down Junofish. There is a trade of rallies, but down so many people, like, they are committing so much.
Respawn's here for Helheim, though.
Wait a minute.
Psychoka finding a kill as well. They're turning this here, Flash.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why they commit here. Psychoka going up to the elevator with, I believe that is Professional Catboy, and this Ana so damn low. Yumiro returns on the Sombra, gets one as the nano on the Junofish, brings Team EXE right back into this fight. Junofish avoids the pulse bomb there of Psychoka, who just, at this point, they need to get out.
It's so back and forth. It's still in favor of EMC Helheim, but it looks like the point's finally going to flip. Bloody hell, that went so damn long. See if Amiro sticks on this Sombra or not. Team EXE stuck on the Genji. They're going to have to play these fast fights. They need to engage early because they can't let Varied and Prof Catboy set up for a nano fight.
Here we go. So much committed, so much lost for EMC Helheim there. Nanting on to the backline. Starty will fall. Jinvathal having switched over to the Genji now, looking like a different player entirely.
Yeah, lovely fight there from Team EXE, I've got to say. They nade deep into the choke. EMC Helheim are still setting up. They can't respond to a dive properly, and that's why their backline just crumples. Everybody else has to reset. And now we're at last fight territory here. Ult's better for Team EXE, but still advantage to the aggressors.
Oh, I mean, Jesus. Airy is just starting off everything for Team EXT. Jinvathal cleaning it up.
Yeah, perfect opener of Gozo. I think it probably touch, but it's not a good one at all.
All right, a touch gonna come through here. Primal Rage in the hands of Professional Catboy will stay alive. Psychoka on this point. Professional Catboy able to juggle Fab down, so that is a great pick early for EMC Helheim. Professional Catboy squishes Beast Mode. Dragon Blade pulled rather.
Oh, wow.
Jinvathal cuts down two. Unfortunately, you cannot deflect the Tesla cannon of the Winston. Professional Catboy cleans up Jinvathal. Airy gets that overtime wick back up to top, but unfortunately for Team EXE, though the fight was strong from them, we are going to an even score here on Oasis. The decider going to be Garden.
Huge primal for Professor Catboy. Killing the Brigitte at 90% of rally is a huge fractor find. You know, even if she gets a chance to charge it up, you're not getting that kill with Primal anymore. That added sustainability is going to allow Team EXE to take that 5-on-5 that they're so desperately looking for. And instead, getting the kill onto the Tracer as well, that's going above and beyond. A player we maligned a little bit last week is just throwing hands. No better way of describing it here. And I'm absolutely for it. As well, I mean, that was another great fight from Team EXE with a nade conversion on the backline, but EMC Helheim just able to grip on white knuckles for life, and because of that, they survive. We're brought here to parity on Gardens.
Dive for EMC Helheim. EXE going back to their signature poke, and unfortunately for Professional Catboy, doing exactly what you said they shouldn't do, diving in alone onto 5, hoping to get a kill, and now EMC Helheim have just got to live.
All you can really do here. I mean, I think Prof Cowboy wasn't really expecting the SIG, and definitely was not expecting the May. Gets a very unwelcome surprise when he commits. This is the first time Jinvathal has been piloting the Cryopologist. They've got to play an extended poke phase now, which isn't so bad for them, but they do need to wait for a ghost sign, a dynamite, a nade, a headshot, something like that.
Goes on the back line maybe. Zazab going to come through. A nice little anti-grenade there onto Airy. They're going to be able to not quite grab that FAP, and Professional Catboy and Psychoka fall as to the hopes of EMC winning out this fight.
It's not a terrible find there, just nade and jump high. Especially with this Bat Bluto, you don't have the same sustainability as an Ana Break, but we see they still have some amount of survivability. If Amiro could sync up on that dive, if Psychoka could have been there, then they would both be dead, but unfortunately that desync cost them that fight, and Team EXE getting closer and closer to half.
Right, Psychoka, Yumiro switching spots for this next fight over to the Echo for Psychoka. Trying to find something here. Psychoka very, very low. Yumiro, Psychoka picked up, unfortunately. Professional Catboy was as well, and his Team EXE crossed the half-century mark. I mean, this is looking more and more like what we saw in map 1.
Yeah, I think this Sigma has always been one of Junifish's favorites. He's showing it exactly here. Said thought he could play it in this meta, just absolutely getting away with it. And EMC Helheim, even though this is probably their strong fight, double support ults here, I'm still not feeling super comfortable. The window is going to be great in the pre-fight, and the Blizzard could well punish it in this.
So that wall not only find its intended target, and the Blizzard will though. 3 caught by the Blizzard of Jinvithal, and Team EXE are at 90%, and they'll be lucky to get a touch for EMC Helheim.
I think they can, but I think it'll be tricky. Great fight plan there, just Blizzarding the backline. Normally they get kind of forgotten about this Tracer Jewel. Oh, that could be it for the May.
Right. Oh my god, and a beautiful pulse bomb there. I thought it would be intended for the May, but Fab beats it instead. Nano boost onto Professional Catboy. Immortality field out this time cannot save the life of Airy. Jinvithal will fall, and Junofist last man standing at 99% for team.exe. Beast Mode gets a quick little touch here to deny as much percentage as possible, as EMC Helheim will stay afloat.
Yeah, so they desperately needed that fight, and it, in the end, probably wouldn't have been won out unless Amiro draws that many resources. That's both May cooldowns as well as a pick on the Lucio using a pulse. That's unreasonable. Team EXE, though, this is their strong fight. They've got the beat and the flux, as well as a pulse one for good measure.
Miracles with his before the massive anti-4! Denied healing by Varied! And EMC Helheim do not need anything but that cooldown to win the fight!
That is ridiculous there. Just putting a pause on every motion Team EXE could take. Just putting the healing on freeze. Fantastic nade from Varied. Probably been the standout player so far, but it's still in a similar scenario. Team EXE still in this strong fight. EMC Helheim not so far behind now, but still behind.
Now the primal rage from Professional Catboy. This map is still low. Very traded there. Now is ready and able to clean up the Lucio with the focusing beam right before the Duke. Psychoka able to get away, stay alive for a moment longer. Can they get rid of this Sigma? The answer is no. And as everybody is stuck in the spawn room, EMC Helheim will not be able to get another touch. And despite the standout play of Varied there, Team EXE going to take map number 1.
Competitive. I'm very impressed, actually. Seemed really quite back and forth. I gotta say, these two teams seem to know each other exceedingly well, and that absolutely shows in these plays. Of course, Junafish had another lights out before, but to see that here, this Sigma just seems to be so confident for him. And because of that, obviously up 1-0 once again is Team EXE. Seems like the script from last time is repeating itself, Fletch.
Admittedly, though, a little closer than it was last time. EMC Helheim, they've come out, they know what they want, right? And I feel like that was something that was a little bit lacking in that matchup last week. I think that finally they know what to expect from Team EXE. Unfortunately, you know, the execution wasn't quite there in the end. You know, you need to be a little bit more hand-holdy with Catboy and whoever's playing the Tracer, whether it's Yumiro or Psychoka. They just weren't able to follow up as... Apparently, I'm quiet. I'm going to fix that. Spec, can you take over?
Sure. I mean, obviously, last time they played, they went to Para-ESO for this round 2 matchup. It was probably the most one-sided, I would argue, of the match. Now, it is EMC Helheim's pick. Now, they have Hybrid. They have the option to go there again, but I wouldn't be a massive fan of it myself. I think the other two options, just by dint of not having been burnt there before, are going to be a little bit stronger. So that would be Midtown and Hollywood. I think either of them would be a bit more comfortable. I think, though, that considering Junofish's still affinity for that Winston, where it's needed, Hollywood would be your best, or Midtown would be your best bet. But then again, it's the Sigma as well. These kind of twin tanks, twin purposes that are just absolutely a huge issue for Helheim. So as long as you don't go Paraiso, I don't mind whatever you go. But other than that, it's tricky. Take a gander at the map pool so we can get a visual reminder of exactly what we're working with. And here we go.
Yeah, and this will be, like we said, hybrid, and it is worth noting that you say that, and I agree with you, frankly. EMC Helheim chose Paraiso last week. So that is very much in play, even if it may be, not quite the right one, right? So it's going to be interesting because we've seen Professional Catboy be very good at the Ramatra, which I agree is probably the right pick would be Midtown if they wanted to do that. Unfortunately, it is, kind of a double-edged sword in the fact that Juno can just play the Sigma on a very strong Sigma map. But Professional Cowboys come out swinging on this Winston in that first map, right? So seeing Paraiso, like, we're going to see it be selected here again for EMC Helheim. It's going to be Paraiso for map number 2. I wholeheartedly believe that the way that we saw them play this dive on map number 1 could very well translate to Paraiso now. They look significantly better than they did last week.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, of course. Yeah, you are right in that their dive looks a little bit cleaner. I think it's because they've got Emira now on this flex DPS and Coco playing the hit scan, I believe. Getting kind of flip-flops around, but it did seem like they were kind of struggling with rolls a little bit there. Oh no, they were back on it now. Back on it this time, so they flipped it around once again. We'll have to wait and see how it works out once we get into the action, though. So remember, last time it ended up being that Beast Mode was able to just go absolutely ham here. See if that trend continues. A very standard defensive comp for EMC Helheim, just the way you kind of play Ash Winston right now. The only real Winston comp variation that you'll see for a little while, I fear. And team.exe, going to be a spawn shot and then very likely a mirror.
5, 4.
All right, here we go. Map number 2, Paraiso. team.exe on the attack. Gentle grapple hook, like you said. Up and go. Gonna find a body shot there. Didn't think that was onto Professional Catboy, so nothing in the way of kills just yet for that team.exe side. Professional Catboy and Junofish joining each other on this opposite high ground, now trying to pincer Professional Catboy. The Winston pushing Team EXE back around the flank side, and Anti on the Beast Mode, who just uses a recall as Varied tries to get the healing out on to this Winston, and unfortunately Psychoka the first to fall. Yumiro drops down to look at this off angle. Some damage out, Dynamite in. Unfortunately, has to back up. 32 HP is not a great place to be.
And especially not against the Tracer. 2 ticks already going to be given over. There's probably going to be a recontest, but is it any good?
All right, yeah, Professional Cowboy denies the second tick for a moment. Will end up coming through for Team EXE, but Psychoka able to come in from the shop down there to take down Fab Airy. Has the Sleep Dart ready to go. Should they choose to use it on to Professional Catboy. Nano Boost as Varied gets thrown around across the map. Juggle still coming through from Junofish, trying to stay in this. Unfortunately, the Nano has faded away from Professional Catboy. Jinvathal will fall. Still, Professional Catboy on this backline, finally going to try to help out Yumiro on the point. The Nano Boost coming in to Junofish to deny the pressure there from Professional Catboy. Team EXE grabs point A.
Junofish just doing more work there definitely gave them the edge. Just having that Primal so much earlier than Professional Cowboy means they could trade the Primal for the Nano, and then Nano late for a crazy ult advantage. Obviously, it was a really nice defense, actually. The attempt to just stop the tick for a bit to allow the respawns in from Prof Cowboy was lovely, but unfortunately, the ults were just too far behind. Pulse here for Psychoka. Can he find the stick? Definitely looking for it. There we go.
Pulse on there early from Psychoka. Professional Cowboy anteed up a little bit in there, but not under too much pressure to live. And Psychoka able to get the backhand there onto Airy to put EMC Helheim ahead.
Yeah, lovely work. No, from the Tracer especially, just to dislodge them from this high ground. So, a stop going to be found. This is one of the hardest areas in the map to attack, I think. It's about crossing these long sight lines that makes it, in theory, super easy for Varied and Yumiro just to pick you apart at range. Prof Catboy and Psychoka can hit you at any point during the rotation from these rooftops.
Alright, dive comes through from Junofish, but the coach gun good for Yumiro. Has the Bob ready to go as well should they choose to invoke him. A little bit of pressure on the part there from Beast Mode. Now the rally in from Stab, from Rage, from Catboy here. Gonna try and stay alive, you know, has a lot of HP. Doesn't need to get too aggressive now. Only them in there. The dive gonna come through from the Junofish. Pops the Primal Rage to get another jump in. Nice little sleep there as Psychoka and Professional Catboy go ham on the back line of Team EXE. This Primal Rage is annoying, but it will not spell anything bad for EMC Helheim.
Yeah, so a reset for Junofish, so the stagger's not too long. It's not an ideal one, but it's, you know, you gotta take it, I suppose, especially with Beast Mode losing a concurrent duel at the same time. So, 3 minutes about on the bank, 2.5 by the next time they're ready to attack. And EMC Helheim having, you know, the Bob both supports are kind of flush right now. Team EXE, I feel like you've got to think about a way of taking space, pressuring the cart, because right now it seems like in these high ground fights, they are just getting blended up, split apart, and just dispatched. So I'd love to see a little bit more pressuring of some more random areas of the map, and hopefully a possibility as well for Junofish and Beast Mode to sync up on these guys.
Bomb ready to go here. Yumiro very low. You see up there at the top left. Now Nano Boost on to Junofish. No target to speak of just yet. The rally to deny a little bit from that Winston dive. The Nano Boost fades away. Did not find jack anything for Team EXE. Now the Nano Boost for the other side. Going to look to find this Ash, and it will do just that. Professional Catboy gets the job done, gets out. Psychoka does fall, but without Jinvathal, Team EXE not going to be able to push much further. Okay, actually a kill there on the Beast Mode. Now fully denies the push. I think
There's
I'm
still so much map. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. That was a goofy. Yeah, so lovely kill there onto Beast Mode. A lot of push now, but one fight territory. The issue is there's still all that map control you have to retake every single time you push in.
Alright, here we go. Junofish getting aggressive, jumping onto the back line. Hookshot not going to connect there. Coach Gun to try and escape this. Winston almost has the Primal Rage here. The cart slowly but surely pushing towards that completion, but it's Yumiro and Psychoka, this DPS line for EMC Helheim that is able to keep them afloat. Professional Catboy did pop the Primal Rage, take down Fab, and EMC Helheim only a minute left on the defense.
Yeah, they're really struggling here. They are on the back foot on a map that they won so dominantly last time. Listen, it's not the worst position they could be in. They finally got ult advantage. It feels like the first time in this map for it. And they've still got plenty of time to set up one good attack, but a single early death here could spell curtains for Team EXE on this attack.
40 seconds now, rally in from Fab, gonna stun up to Psychoka. Very low, has to escape, anti on a Beast Mode, but Junofish has opened the fight up with a kill on to Varied. We see Bob, Pulse Bomb, Primal Rage for the side of Team EXE, and Jinvathal has dispatched of Starty, and so now Team EXE will chill and just roll this point through the end of B.
Takes them a little while too, but they can get it through with time on the bank as well. Got the Bob and the Nano for the next, so we're trading Nanos. They really want to play a quick fight here. If you allow Yumiro to charge up to their own Bob, then it's going to get really tricky to go for any sort of ult trade. Pulse Bomb speculative, but I don't hate it at all. But minute, in fact time, going to be the real issue here. It's a race against it because they just don't have enough.
Well, Airy falls first here. Great shot from Yumiro to begin this fight. Right now, Professional Catboy, you know, getting a little aggressive, able to jump out, stay alive. They have the Nano ready to go. Psychoka has this Pulse Bomb as well, though.
Indeed. And last fight territory here, essentially, I understand the push early, it should be pretty free, but there's so much work for EXE to do here.
Alright, Junofish very low, a prime target for a pulse bomb. Should Psychoka get close enough? Unfortunately, the jump gonna take Junofish a little too far away. And out! Jinvithal as well, falling early. A great pulse bomb there from Psychoka gets really, really aggressive. And Team EXE understand they cannot push without them.
Exactly, so you've got to back up once again. That's kind of the last time you can get picks, though. You're lucky your spawns are this close. You're lucky the cart is still close. But the time is whistling lower and lower. About 20 seconds left on the bank. Love to see how they open this up. A nade onto the backline.
Oh my god! The lineup for Varied understands that they might fall. Gets the nano boost off on to Starty. Get the raid boss rolling. Jinvithal threw Bob out, but will end up falling. 10 seconds remain as a professional Catboy going to return from spawn well before the players of Team EXE. Beast Mode alone on the cart. 3 seconds for overtime to begin. They get it started. Jinvithal switches over to Genji to get the touch in here as soon as possible. Juno with this primal rage. Psychoka watching the backline, trying to get on the flank. Varied anti up. Primal rage popped by Juno as well as professional Catboy, but we see the supports supporting each other. Unfortunately, Juno able to get the primal rage juggle there on it to Starty. Gets around the corner, stays alive. Harry falls. The hide and seek for Varied keeps them in this fight. Catboy receives a pulse bomb though, so this fight's still going as Team EXE continues their push.
Junofish is holding the spawn doors. None may pass until you beat the monkey player. No healers alive though. Look how low he is. He can't push off of anything. So it has to be Beast Mode and Jinvithal to come up clutch.
Pulse bomb out, cleanse from Airy keeps the Winston in the fight. Touch continues, overtime continues for Team EXE. You see the anti onto Junofish. Can they convert? They cannot. It fades away. The touch from professional Catboy, able to just find Jinvithal spinning around on that cart like one of Lucio's records, able to get rid of everybody around, and it's just Juno left. And Team EXE will falter right at the end. EMC Helheim, this is a different team than we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, but it's also worth remembering that finishing this map is borderline impossible, and getting all the way to the end is still a gargantuan achievement, especially for how stalled out Team EXE got when attacking through second. Still, most definitely, I would say favoring Team EXE was that round. So EMC Helheim, though they've done fantastically to stop the cart at all, and that second point defense as well was lovely to behold, they've still got plenty of food on their plate that they have to finish chewing before they can actually take the victory. So gonna have to wait and see exactly how they attempt to do it. I think we need to see Prof Catboy find the same value early on that Junofish did, because it was that ult charge that allowed them to flip that script and actually find it. Widowmaker on the attack, same thing we've seen before, but we haven't seen a kill from it in many moves, it feels like.
It's like the Widowmaker on King's Row. Nobody peeks it, but it'd be funny if they did. So you know, it's always a gamble that doesn't really hurt anybody, unless you know a headshot is hit. Just go back over the Ash after it. But you know, it's gonna be the same thing here from either side. A perfect mirror, I would assume, after this pot shot from spawn Ash into the brig for Starty. We'll see if Yamiro can, you know, hit the jackpot this time. Gonna grapple up and nothing. So
Yep.
EMC Helheim is gonna go over back to the Ash.
Yep, one would expect that, and there's going to be the flip. So the attack can begin in earnest. Psychoka's in pretty deep here, can already begin pressuring Igon.
Alright, yep, Professional Catboy waiting for the word to jump onto that backline so soon. Psychoka actually coming back to join the rest of the team. Jinvithal hits a couple of headshots there onto the Winston. They're onto the tab. They're gonna hit the jump, but the denial by the coach gun of Jinvithal. Very, very strong there, and nice shots put Catboy away.
Yeah, a little bit optimistic from a Prof Catboy there to think that that jump's makeable. You jump in and you're going to get Coach Gun and Whip Shot, and that's exactly what happened. So banished into the middle of nowhere really and dispatched. Jinvithal, don't lose this fight. Oh, that's a brutal kill to give over.
Wait a minute, Psychoka still alive in the backline of Team EXE. So as EMC Helheim returns from spawn, they will have this agent in the back. They know though, they hear, they see. Nice little whip shot there on Professional Catboy, denied the jump as Fab is very, very low. Now he changes his look to the Brig. Fab will fall first though. Airy able to escape, anti-grenade out, doesn't hit anybody unfortunately. As I mean, EMC Helheim with their anti applied, they need to back off.
Yeah, time's been a whittling, and so far no real progress garnered. That Coca angle was lovely, but if nobody can sync up on it, it don't matter. Pulse bomb tossed to the wayside by beast mode, but they're still pretty comfortable in this defense. It's no big loss for them.
Coca back into the back line here of EMC Helheim, has the uses the recall early, gets to stay in this fight a little bit longer, needs to escape. The blink actually gets the nade there from Very. Pulse from out from Psychoka. Not gonna find a target, but maybe some damage into that staircase as Professional Catboy dispatched of Jinvathal. This backline under so much duress for the moment. 95% to the Primal Rage for Catboy, and Primal Rage popped by Juno Fish. The Nano Blade is great for Juno. Dispatches of Yamiro and could get rid of Varied as well. The Nano Boost on to Psychoka. Rally, and the Primal Rage popped by the rest of the team. Everything that EMC Helheim had in their bank popped, and unfortunately it is only Professional Catboy left in a 1 versus 3, and that's a pretty hard one to win.
Yeah, it comes down to a chaos fight on the car, and that's just individuals, the only thing that matters. Beast mode, you would have loved that kill. But instead, you're going to have to sit in the knowledge that your respawns might not be here before the next EMC Helheim egress onto the objective. Bob this time can stall the car as well, but it seems like everybody's waiting for a full fight.
Pulse Bomb just goes right over the head of Fab that time. Recall out. Junofish not with the luxury of the Primal Rage to stay in this fight. Bob enters the fray here, and I mean, that's a beautiful anti as Catboy rips through 3. Bob's looking at each other as Yamiro dispatches of Jinvathals, and it will only be Junofish left alive, as that is a team kill to clean up this point for EMC Helheim.
Yeah, takes them a while, 3.5 minutes, but they get the cap in the end. And the time bank here doesn't matter as long as they can get the cap in the end. So we'll see exactly what they can do as we begin to scale into the second area of the map. They don't really have any tools to dislodge them here, so again, this is going to be a pure mechanics battle.
No good on their Primal Rage, so okay, especially now that they have stomped out Barry's life there. Junofish just absolutely shoving Starty into a locker. Professional Catboy also popped the Primal Rage, able to, wow, yeah, a little bit unlucky there as Junofish is trying to live.
Oh, that's really brutal actually. There's no Ana setup as well because they're hiding, or even got taken down earlier, so there's no peel where you'd naturally expect it. Lovely mechanics from Junofish, and honestly, if you get that extra 30 HP onto the Ash, then you can live, maybe not indefinitely, but for a damn sight longer. Team.exe now, down their tank. Look at how scared they have to play while Junofish comes back.
Junofish is back, and Buried is gone. A nice little anti-air from Airy to take down their mirror. And now it'll be EMC Helheim having to disengage without their Ana in play.
Yeah, all you can do. EMC Helheim now. I mean, they're coming up to their best fight possible, everything bar the Primal Rage. They could, for example, go for like a Bob Lowgrounds, try and nano boost their Winston up. But Team.exe have pretty much all the same tools. Makes it so tricky here.
Getting in here, nano boost on Junofish. Rally as well from Fab. Pulse Bomb not going to find a target there for Psychoka. They're going to try and chase down this Ana as Bob comes in from Yamiro right into the backline, trucks right through Jinvathal, and now they're going to be able to drop Fab as well with 50 seconds on the clock here, and Junofish alone on this high ground as well as Airy alone on the high ground. It will be EMC Helheim keeping themselves in this map.
Yeah, looks like it will. I can't imagine there's going to be a recontest before the end of second, even if they have spotted Beast Mode lurking in the behind. Could be an awkward Tracer duel here, especially if the timing is not perfect. They're going to go for this, though.
They've still got 3 blinks. Do they get the clutch or remain as Psychoka just absolutely rips Beast Mode apart? Now we're gonna see Junofish and Primal Rage and the Bob from Jinvathal, and Jinvathal's Bob able to dispatch a professional Catboy, and unfortunately, Beck, I think that's the map.
I think that is, yeah.
Like, there's only 10 seconds left. EMC Helheim needs something big from Psychoka, and unfortunately, Beast Mode cleans that up, and EMC Helheim, despite looking better than we saw on Saturday, one more time find themselves at match point after only 2 maps.
That's essentially the same result as well. I mean, with Team EXE going almost to the end of the map, I think they finished without a minute on the bank last time. And EMC Helheim getting stopped just outside of capping the second point. That nade is, oh my god, just fantastic, right? That makes that so easy for Prof Catboy. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough in the end. As you mentioned, we are continuing that script we wrote a week ago, and unfortunately for EMC Helheim, they showed no signs of changing anything up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I like I said, I do think that this is a better team than we saw them be on Saturday. Unfortunately, looks like Team EXE has also taken a step up, or, you know, I don't know, right? Team EXE, though, what I do know is at match point now as we head into Clash. This was the map that EMC Helheim was able to pick up on Saturday. So a very, very good chance that we see that again, as you know, Clash is kind of up in the air on who might win that right now. But for now, we are going to cut it to a break, and when we come back, we'll see if EMC Helheim can keep themselves up above the water, right? And we'll see if Team EXE can clean it up. So stick around. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Right now, Spec, we are seeing basically the exact same storyline as we had seen on Saturday here. I guess it is something that, you know, only what, 4 days now doesn't make much of a difference. And when it comes to these competitions, EMC Helheim, they have looked a little bit better than we saw on Saturday. Unfortunately, team.exe still more than up for the challenge. But now, as we head into map number 3, which I believe is going to be Throne of Anubis.
Yep, exactly the same as we had last time again. So the theme is going to continue, and if it continues all the way through, that would mean EMC Helheim will be taking this map in relatively close fashion. We've got some substitutes as well. If we see if we can pull it up real quick. Yeah, here we go. So it's going to be Fifi is going to be the only substitute. Sakoka's coming out, Fifi's coming in. And, you know, while I think Sakoka has been playing fantastically, Fifi for me was the standout player all throughout that last matchup. Both the Tracer and the Mei were absolutely ridiculous, and I would very much hope that this is a sign of things on the up and up for EMC Helheim here.
Yep, so as we get ready to head into this map, Fifi, yep, like you said, very, very strong Tracer Mei. I imagine that Throne of Anubis, we're going to see the Ramatra here for EMC Helheim. If I remember correctly, that is what they did before. Team.exe mirrored that as well with Junofish on the Ramatra. So Fifi and Yamiro, you know, at the very least, this was Yamiro's best map last week as well when they picked up the Reaper and just kind of went uncontested in the backline of Team.exe. Has been playing significantly better than Saturday, I will say, on the Ash. So I'm happy to say that at the very least. But it'll look like it's exactly what we saw from EMC Helheim on Saturday. Reaper, Lucio Moira, and on the other side, the only difference from what we saw last week is actually the DPS line, Beast Mode Jinpathal.
Yeah, I think last time was slightly different, of course, as well, but we've seen Brawl v Brawl. Team.exe won't have the win conditions, but instead they will have a better poke phase and more frontline trading as well. So Fifi's going to have to be quick on that E button, else Helheim may well struggle.
Alright, here we go. Wall out early, not going to cut anybody off. A little bit of a very, very interesting wall there as Yamiro heads into the back line here. Gonna try and chunk down this back. Gets the Immortality Field out. Still has the Wraith form, so he is A-okay in this fight. And unfortunately for Team.exe, that second wall from Fifi significantly better than the first, and that will lock up C for EMC.
That's how it goes. If Junofish is getting walled, then you need to break a pylon incredibly quickly, otherwise, yeah, he's just going to go down. So that's one to the favor of EMC Helheim. The script continues to hold strong here, Fletch. But Jinvincible looking to get some poke in on it.
One more time here for EMC going into point C. As Jinvincible has already fallen, Yamiro and Stardy find one each and just continue to put out so much damage from these shotguns, does Yamiro.
Yeah, just absolutely blending up all of the opponent's Team.exe. Really struggling here, actually. This is a bit of a deviation here, because last time they were a lot closer, but seems like they just can't crack the secret source, and now there's an attempt to attack E. Often very risky. We'll see if EMC Helheim are able to complete the speedrun.
Yamiro almost has Death Blossom. Very much Coalescence, and it will be the Coalescence to start this fight. And the Death Blossom going to not find anything. Actually, the Deadeye good for one from Beast Mode, and that will be all that they need to lock this point up. As Very tries to deny some time.
Yeah, the cold engage is nice, but the Death Blossom, sorry, is so split from the rest of the team. Especially when you haven't forced out important cooldowns like Lamb. It's bold, I'll call it that much. So obviously it doesn't end up working out for the side of the EMC Helheim. Team.exe deal their first point, and because of that, they will have a very decent chance of converting D and bringing it to parity.
Sorrel's in the hands of EXE, 3 in the hands of EMC, and Fifi is able to open up with a pick on it to Beast Mode, and now the go button has been hit. Yamiro trying to chunk down the backline again, use the Wraith form to get away. Fifi joins this Reaper, hits the wall out, hits the Blizzard. The Death Blossom from Jinbethal. Unfortunately, the damage not quite there. Fifi and Yamiro both very low, but Fifi single-handedly turns this fight with a pick early and a Blizzard.
Yeah, great work there, but that pick was just so impactful. Even without the Blizzard, they can probably convert. With it, it just puts the hammer, or the nail in the coffin, sorry. See what EXE can do if they want to try and retake, because they are playing post, but they need to touch. Boom,
Fish boop, and beautifully played there by Stardy. Fab will fall. Immortality Field used by Airy as they push EXE back into their own spawn room.
Yeah, again, an attempt to attack E. This time only 2 ticks going to be necessary. This brawl is so back and forth that there's no real chance for a defense attacking cap here. So I would very much expect it's just going to be capped real quick by the defenders. And we're going to be going 3-2 here. A second chance at point D. And this one would make it so much easier. Again, we'll be reaching parity, but 4 online for both of these sides. Could be some real kerfuffle on the objective. Window going to be a bit more powerful than Cole. Blossom arguably stronger than that Death.
Here we go for ultimates in the hands of either team. Jinbethal on the Junkrat, finding the Death Blossom does. Yamiro!
Wow.
3 in the blender goes Team EXE! And they will grab point D for a 3rd time here.
It's not even Team EXE. They just got Task Manager shut down. That was insane. Just, I thought that fight was already over. It was a lovely concussion mine from Jinbethal to boot from Catboy off the high ground. There's a 5v4 in that space, but just waltzing in does Yamiro and just puts the team to bed. As you mentioned, 3rd time to defend E. This time only 1 tick necessary.
All right, 3 ultimates in the hands of EMC Helheim. Team EXE have not gotten a chance to use their wealth of ultimates here, so we'll see if they finally get it out. Airy gonna throw down the Amp Matrix as Beast Mode on the off angle decapitates Very. This Amp Matrix, though, will fade away as EMC Helheim rotates around. Junofish pops the Annihilation, and Professional Catboy understands that he doesn't need it. They're already at map point.
Yeah, indeed. They only need to cap D, and they have not struggled to do that so far. Team EXE need to cap D and see if they want to close this out. It's doable on paper, sure, but it's definitely a comeback needed from them. Deadeye and B, it's not what you'd love to see. EMC Helheim have significant ult advantage.
Through the high ground is EMC Helheim. They already have early control of this. Positioning EXE, waiting for this point to unlock, and the fight will begin. Beast Mode has a Deadeye ready to go. Gonna pop it here soon. I can assume the Blizzard from PP going to freeze nobody. Unfortunately, Beast Mode will not be able to pop anybody with this Deadeye Sound Barrier Annihilation out, as the Blizzard will as well. Catboy falls, as does Beast Mode, though. Team EXE have lost their main source of healing. Jinbethal trying to get rid of this Lucio, but the healing is just so much more there for EMC Helheim. They have the Death Blossom should they choose to use it, and they will. It won't find any damage, but it forced out the Jinbethal Ice Block, and now they begin their capture of point D for a 4th time. Airy falls, and it's up to Beast Mode to keep this one rolling, but Beast Mode falls, and it's desperation here. The Doomfist returns for Juno Fish, and I mean, without the cooldowns, the whiff on the punch especially, a nail in the coffin, and EMC Helheim, they only need point D.
That's actually really goofy. Just cap D multiple times. Every point the Team EXE scored was an E. And again, the script continues to hold. You know, if it continues to, now it's Team EXE's choice. Then when it comes to closing a flashpoint, they'll go towards East Answer and close that out in a close affair. That's what happened last time. And again, it's just been actually deja vu all throughout this series. I don't know about you, Flight, but I'm checking the date and making sure I know exactly what's going on. But yeah, Fifi coming in as a sub and absolutely able to perform there. Does a great job on the May. Great walls, great freezes. Okay.
Alright, well, having some technical difficulties. As we get a look at the winners of last map, it was significantly more of a blowout than last time, though. I think it is worth noting, right? The fact is that, like you said, EXE, the only time they got anything done on this map was when they captured E 3 times. Unfortunately, you can't win like that. EMC just came back. They understood, hey, we are already up, right? As long as we win D, E doesn't matter. So every time they would cap D, they'd go in, they'd, stall some time, waste some time, die, come back, regroup on the high ground on the far side of D, and be able to rip apart EXE from that high ground. There was really nothing they could do because they just spent that extra time getting ready, planning, setting up for the next fight, a luxury that EXE did not have.
I mean, yeah, exactly. And also, it was some rougher ult trades from Team EXE when they're fighting over E, spending very heavily when maybe they don't necessarily need to, which means that when EMC Helheim were on the defensive there, they were like 4 ults to 2 in a lot of scenarios, and that's just a really tough scenario to even try to lose. So they did a fantastic job. Finally, a variation from the script. EMC Helheim have gone for a different pick from last time instead of going to the Esperanza we saw. Instead, it's going to be Suravasa coming up next.
Okay, so this makes me feel like EMC Helheim is going to stick to the Ramatra, right? They really, really would prefer that. The big question mark, I think, is EXE. Do they try to force the dive that can work here on not Esperanza, but Suravasa? Or do they also commit to the Ramatra mirror where EMC Helheim just absolutely rolled them, right? We will see, as it's actually going to be none of the above. Junofish headed back to that all-powerful Sigma that we've seen them pilot so well. And I guess we'll see if on this map where this Ramatra is a little bit stronger, can Junofish keep it up on the Sigma?
Have to wait and see. Going to be a lot easier to be run over here than on some of those control points earlier. So again, going to be a huge target of scrutiny for EMC Helheim. See if the kinetic grasp is going to be enough to keep himself alive or not, as we go for flip sides of the objective. The long wrap for EMC Helheim, whereas Team EXE just go the standard routing.
Alright, here we go. Suravasa market the first fight. As always here, Beast Mode fades away as they see Yamiro engage on this Reaper. Reaper's a little bit loud. They know that Yamiro is back here. Have to play safe, grab this Mega Health Pack, and stay alive as long as possible. First flip belongs to EMC Helheim. This fight so far from over, though. The Immortality Field used by Airy, so not going to have that luxury as Fifi dispatches of Fab, and without that speed boost, without that Lucio, Team EXE are going to struggle, but they will not back down here now as Yamiro walks back into the back line and Starty going to speed the rest EMC in, and this is not going to favor EXE.
No, it would have been better if Fab was able to live there, because honestly, if Fab doesn't die, it's a positive resource trade, but unfortunately that does not happen. So EMC Helheim going to stable, wait for their cooldowns to come back, and push into that 5v4. Also, I think Beast Mode's doing great damage on the Sojourn, but your actual kill pressure just isn't what it used to be, so there's a certain lack of respect that EMC Helheim have been giving to him that maybe you wouldn't expect if you're on like a Cassidy, even an Ashe here. They have another attempt here. They will have a touch comfortably and at least an overclock as well, but will it be enough?
20% as Coalescence is used by Varied here. Professional Catboy under a lot of duress. A beautiful wall, but the Coalescence gets the trade. Jinthal falls, and the Blizzard is going to put the dagger in market for EMC Helheim.
Big freeze there, just dropping the Ice Age onto Team EXE. Helheim seem to be finally be ahead in a series, and a dominant fight on market means that they will be set up defensively onto Palace here. Team EXE on the outside looking in, but they've got 5 ults to try and crack this tin can open.
Alright, Jinthal with the Blizzard, Beast Mode, Overclock, EXE, like you said, bunch of stuff to use here. We'll see if they get that job done, but we've seen time after time, we know that EXE is the Blizzard comes out and it gets rid of 2! It gets rid of 4! The least obvious Death Blossom I've seen in my life, and Yamiro rips through 4!
He's got the secret sauce with it. I don't even know
My
what
chair
to
is
say.
across the room!
That is ridiculous, though, isn't it? Like, that just wipes out Team EXE. They had the beat defensively. They would have had Lamp. They had Grasp. There's so many mitigating tools here, but instead, there's something about it that just means that everything is going in favor of EMC Helheim right now.
Alright, overclock from Beast Mode, walled off immediately. Sound barrier out from Stardy. I mean, they're trying to find whatever they can with these ultimates. They pop damn near everything, and they will get the job done. But EMC Helheim, they're going to come back with a heavy ult advantage.
Indeed. So gets it over the line in the end here. With only a beat, you almost have to be engaged and hard focus like Lucio, which is not a fight plan you ever love to do here. But that's all I think they really can do, because if they give Helheim time to toss this Annihilation, toss this Cold, toss this Blizzard, then you're going to be so far in the back foot, it has to be tripping over your own shoelaces.
Alright, EXE, they're going to be able to wall off Professional Catboy. Unfortunately, that barrier going to deny the pressure there. Fab will be able to drop Yamiro early. If he has this Blizzard now, could use it and will. Going to get the freeze on to Junofish and Beast Mode frozen. Beast Mode cleaned up by the Annihilation of Professional Catboy, who will clean up the rest of the fight in turn. Fab just trying to stall for time here. They'll live a pretty good time. They just cannot kill this
They're
frog.
struggling here, yeah. They get it in the end.
Yamiro to the rescue.
It doesn't even count as a stagger because the rest of Team EXE are going to be there, you know, basically beforehand even. And 83% accrued, obviously last fight territory, same for both of these teams. Palace going to come down to this clash, and I'm going to say, especially if EXE play this slow, they will have advantage. This Blizzard, though, could be everything.
All right. Needs to be massive. No ult is in the hands of EMC Helheim. The Blizzard out first. They will freeze up Professional Catboy. The target, as always, with those Blizzards. Beast Mode, the trade, though. There are trades left and right here, unfortunately, for EMC Helheim. There may very well not be another chance here at the Palace. It's 83% and counting now.
I don't think they can, especially with the fast members like Starty respawning so late. So, gonna go 1-1 here. This is going to be...
Do they touch? Do they touch?
No! Starty was careening towards the point, but the wall just puts a guarantee on top of things. And yeah, now reaching parity here on Suravasa.
Garden will be the site of our next fight here. Ultimate advantage still in the hands of EMC Helheim. We've seen Yamiro.
Good lord.
We've seen Beast Mode click heads all series long. That was what I was going to talk about. Certainly not Yamiro dying there. But now Team EXE, they're actually catching up on these ultimates. Fab close to a sound barrier. Beast Mode exceedingly close to a Deadeye. Is EMC going to back off?
Yeah, that they are. So Team EXE looking to widen the gap between the two of them here. EMC Helheim will have such a strong fight though, almost 4 ultimates. Team EXE, a huge flux is probably the best way to stop the front push.
Blizzard out from not going to find a freeze as the boot comes through. Yamiro is the trade. Unfortunately, Catboy has no HP left to give as EXE will continue their hold.
Yeah, the flux just stops the push basically entirely, and the Deadeye, you know, only getting the 1, but still enough to just strip most of the momentum away from the remaining members of EMC Helheim. Team EXE past 50% now. There is one more fight for this objective, and there will be an advantage, a small one, for EMC Helheim if they go first and go fast. But they need to do it right now, else Team EXE will be able to respond.
Here we go. 70% for Team EXE starting off with Coalescence for EMC, Helheim, Sound Barrier, and Blizzard are the answer from Jinvital and Fab. And unfortunately, the target, as always, going to be Professional Catboy in that Nemesis form with the Blizzard. Going to be able to clean up this fight, excuse me, as EXE move to map and match point here.
Yeah, looks like it. Only one more flashpoint going to be necessary before they complete a duplication of the results of last weekend here. So EMC Helheim, they started off so well, right? I mean, 99 on Palace, taking market that easily, but they've been floundering a little bit now. Gotta focus up, gotta hope this Annihilation is huge, else Team EXE will finish this off.
job getting that shift out of Airy, but unfortunately, Fifi has fallen first here. Professional Cowboy has the Annihilation ready to go. Should they choose to lead it here, and Yamiro falling is not a great thing. They are able to get some trades, but Catboy just...
Yeah, I don't know
no
where the
shot
background
there.
was there. I guess just take him down early, but all you can do now is back up. As an ultimate, you'd love to have back, realistically speaking. Very gets reset late as well. That's going to delay your push. There's maybe 2 tries if you're very lucky here, and Team EXE go for like an early flux onto you. Reinhardt, if you want, I guess you can run over the Sigma, but you're going into Deadeye, Blizzard, Flux. The hero just doesn't work here.
Catboy can get that one done. The Davidic Flux is going to pick up only 2 there, as Beast Mode will fall to Yamiro. Unfortunately, Professional Catboy, the entire front line for EMC has fallen first. There are trades to the Junofish behind Fifi. Going to be able to clean that deal up.
Indeed. Now we are absolutely in last fight territory. This Blizzard is going to be everything here. Fifi has one of her own, but will it be enough? Will they be able to counteract Jinvinthul's play? Because the Ice Age is going to be here, and it could be won without EMC Helheim in it.
Right, 27% has got to be a touch.
Little
And the Reaper
touch!
takes it! Oh! Heartbreak for EMC Helheim as they are sent home from the mid-season tournament after not touching the point. They had the ult advantage. They had what they needed, and it's still not enough. EXE duplicate what we saw on Saturday in the grudge match here. EMC Helheim, though, they played well. It wasn't a blowout by any means. Junofish just locked it in there. I mean, we saw right at the end a 20-player kill streak for Junofish. They could not get rid of this Sigma.
I'm still boomed about that C9. It was so close, just inches away from the objective. That's got to be heartbreaking to lose a series like that, especially considering how dominantly they won out in the first half of Suravasa, of course, Throne of Anubis as well. You don't see that every day, realistically. There's forgetting, and there's just missed timing. I think the missed timing is almost even more brutal.
Yeah, I mean, they had Yamiro ready on the flank to touch. They just weren't fast enough. There wasn't a wall. There wasn't a boop. They just didn't touch. And that, yeah, I think that hurts more. Because they were ready. They had what they needed. They just couldn't do it. So now, Team EXE, 3-1 over EMC Helheim. Basically the same story as what we saw on Saturday. A couple of different maps, but ultimately the results are the same. Now, Spec, I believe we are going to cut it to a break, and we will have a member of Team EXE to talk to one more time before they head deeper into this bracket, so stick around.
Lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love.
right, everybody, welcome back as Deja Vu continues, as we have Juno Fish back here for an interview for the second time in as many weeks for a win over EMC Helheim. Juno, another incredible game played by y'all. How y'all feeling?
Feeling pretty good about that. I know there were some people on the desk last time, and some of the casters who didn't predict us highly, but I'm glad we could use that spite as motivation to pull through and repeat the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, y'all look great. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Spec needs to apologize as well.
I hold my hand out. I goofed.
Yeah, that's our bad. We will never doubt y'all again as y'all continue y'all's dominant run through this tournament. Spec, what you got for him?
Obviously you've just won in basically the same manner as last time. You shared 2 of the maps and finished in very similar ways on 2 of them. Is there anything you want to say about how consistently you're able to find these matchups against EMC Helheim?
Not particularly. I am surprised we struggle so much on the Clash. I felt like the Clash would be a bit stronger for us, but clearly we need to do some work. They managed to find some advantage that we can't find. Other than that, no, not particularly, nothing special.
So yeah, and then also I want to ask you about that final map choice. I think last time you went to Esperanza, and ended up playing that Monkey Mirror. This time instead it's the Suravasa. There we go. Is there any reason for that that difference, or just a vibes based?
It's kind of vibes based. I saw as you saw, we struggled heavily on the Clash map in the Brawl Mirror, so I thought Saravasa's kind of gives us the opportunity to force dive if we want to, or flip to the Sigma comp, which we've had so much success against this team on.
All right, and you did talk a lot about that Sigma on Saturday. It doesn't seem like there's any slowing that down for y'all. Y'all are pretty committed to that now as y'all move on to, I believe, is that finals for this tier?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so let's see. Who are y'all going to go up against in the finals? If we know that at all. We don't. So actually, now that we talk about that, the other side of this bracket is happening on the B stream right now. Special Forces versus the God Stack. Which of those 2 teams do you think would give y'all the better matchup, and who would y'all be more excited to go up against in the finals?
I mean, obviously we haven't played the God Stack yet, but we did lose 3-1 to Special Forces, which I don't think anyone on the team was happy about. So it's nice to get maybe a redemption match against them, prove that it was just an off day and nothing else.
All right, well, obviously that would be, a great feeling to get the championship here in the midseason over a team in revenge fashion. But now, Juno, as we get ready to send you away here, is there anything that you want to bring up that maybe we didn't, or anybody you want to shout out?
I'll shout out Jin Vithel for finally turning up to something important for once. It's always nice to have our players, do their jobs. But other than that, no, that's it.
All right, well, Juno, one more time, congratulations on the finals appearance, and, maybe we will talk to y'all again very, very soon.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Spec. Well, our doubleheader comes to an end here with a victory from Team EXE 3-1 over EMC Helheim. Spec, do you have anything else to say before we head out here tonight?
That was probably my last game of the mid-season tournament. I won't be around for the rest of it, so I feel like I've had a pretty good run of things, pretty good shake of the stick. Make sure you continue watching CGL. There's plenty of action with some very talented members of the production team, and I look forward to watching from the sidelines and seeing who can take the crown.
Oh, what was that, 4 or 5.5 matches for you?
Yeah, about that. I think 5.
Yeah, about that. 5, yeah. So, yeah, that'll do it for us here on this side. We will be rating CGL2 to view who is going to go up against team.exe in the finals of this mid-season tournament. So that one should be a lot of fun. So thank you all for watching, and we will see y'all later tonight.